In this video, we are going to talk about ICP, some of its recent price action, the important support and resistance areas, and where we can expect the price of ICP to go in the next few days and weeks. So let's look at the weekly chart. As you can see in the last video, I have drawn these trend lines, and ICP is very clearly in a downtrending channel. Since the start of 2024, ICP got 3 very significant rallies in the last couple of years, but every time it reaches this trend line, it gets a very sharp dump right after that. And what we've seen in the last couple of months is no different whatsoever. We've seen ICP head all the way down to the trend line and then get an absolutely explosive rally, basically the exact moment that it touched the trend line, going all the way from less than $3 all the way up to about $10, a rally of more than 3x. And then when it reached the trend line from the highs, it almost immediately started dumping. And right now we are almost at the same level that ICP was a couple of months ago before the very explosive rally. So it is very interesting to see how quickly ICP lost all of its progress that it made in the last couple of months, despite the rally for ICP being absolutely explosive. And it is really amazing to see how strongly ICP is reacting to these trend lines. So where can we expect ICP to go from here? In my opinion, there are 2 crucial levels that we are approaching right now. The first one would be this support area at basically exactly $3. This is where the previous rally started from back in October, and this is also a pretty significant low that we've seen ICP bottom at back in September 2023. And back then, when ICP reached that area, it then led to an absolutely incredible rally going all the way up to nearly $20. Right now, ICP is at just over $3, and it has been continuously dumping in the last few weeks, so it definitely seems like it is approaching the support area of $3. But then, if ICP actually loses the area of $3 and heads below it, then the next support area would be the trend line again, and that would be the area of about $2.2. Of course, it depends on when ICP reaches the trend line because it continuously goes down. So right now it is at about $2.3, $2.2. If it only reaches it later, then it could be even lower, all the way down to about $2. But that would be generally the next area for ICP to get support from. And this is also a very strong area that we have seen ICP react to pretty strongly, that we have seen ICP react to very well in the last couple of years. And another very interesting thing to note about ICP is how its correlation with Bitcoin seems almost non-existent. Most altcoins have a very strong correlation with Bitcoin. Bitcoin is the king of the crypto market, and it usually leads to altcoins following it. But at least in the year of 2025, we can see, for example, that since the April low, despite Bitcoin going all the way from about 75k all the way up to about 125k in October, which is an absolutely incredible rally for Bitcoin, which has such a large market cap compared to altcoins. But from the low in April to the high by Bitcoin in October, ICP didn't move at all. If anything, it really just got slightly down, and the correlation of ICP with Bitcoin during the time was very small. And then also, when we saw Bitcoin dumping after the high in the months of October and November, at first we did have some correlation, but then especially in late October and early November, absolutely skyrocket with this rally that we talked about, despite Bitcoin actually continuously dumping. And then after that, when we saw the dump by ICP in the last few weeks, we've actually seen Bitcoin doing pretty well, getting a relief rally from about 80k to over 90k now. So usually I look at Bitcoin to try to understand what's going on with altcoins, especially the larger market cap ones, because the larger of a market cap an altcoin has, the more it will usually correlate with Bitcoin. And ICP is not one of the largest market cap altcoins, but it's certainly not a micro cap either. So such a low level of correlation with Bitcoin in the last few months is pretty surprising in my opinion. But with all of that being said, I still think that if Bitcoin does get a rally, it will at least make the chances of ICP also getting a rally following it much larger, and a dump by Bitcoin would also make the chance of a dump by ICP much larger as well. But it's just not as clear cut as I would say about some other altcoins. I would probably say that if Bitcoin gets to over 100k very soon, then ICP will likely start getting a recovery right away from this area of about $3. But if we don't see Bitcoin continuing its rally right away, then ICP will likely lose the area of $3 and head all the way down to the trend line and will likely only get a rally from there. But even then, of course, ICP could even lose the trend line and not get a rally at all anytime soon. That's going to be it for this video about ICP. If you enjoyed it and you want more updates about ICP as well as other altcoins, make sure to subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.